Up till now, as long as they weren't disobeying me, I let the smack talk go. We were focused on just pure obedience. But once obedience is established, the next beast to conquer is the attitude of disrespect.
More is caught than taught. So sometimes their behaviors are reflecting back to you your own behaviors, and sometimes it's things they got from their surroundings that aren't from you.
For respect, I honestly don't always use the 3-step system. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should. If you cross the line, then boom, you know the rules, you know your job, and that ain't it. You have earned a focus activity. But you can choose to start with the 3-step system and keep it all within the context of obedience. It's very simple. If they sass you, you then ask them to model the correct behavior. Please say it this way, and model how you would prefer them say it. This is how I would prefer you treat me, with your warning voice. Then fine, go dust the mantle, go dust the bookshelf, go dust, just pick one little thing that will help you in your home. If they still earned out and they would rather go dust the bookshelf than say it nicely, that's their choice, and I release it at that point. I let it go. Thank you for dusting off the bookshelf. That does help me feel better after you just sassed me like that. It does help me. If they still hold out, they earned it. The focus activity now becomes a means for them to physically apologize to you and by rendering you a service. And this small task and an act of service becomes a means of healing your relationship. Take advantage of those opportunities every time you walk through the door. If you had them sweep out the leaves, say, look how beautiful it is. I couldn't see how beautiful it was here with all those leaves in the way. Thank you so much for making our space beautiful, for helping to make our space beautiful. Allow that awe and respect for your child to show through your eyes into the skills they're developing. After the children have successfully used this system to learn how to interact with us, the parents, successfully, my husband and I also used this system to help them navigate the relationships between each other. So we would help navigate them through interactions with their other siblings. No, that's not how we treat people in this house. Try again. See if they can figure out a polite way to say, or a nicer way to ask. You can tie them all back to obedience. There's a 3-step system. Please try. I remember asking you nicely to please try, and then if they're not even willing to try, go ahead and have them scrub the floor somewhere. They probably spilled the orange juice on it anyway, so
We are redirecting their bad feelings. Take it out on that task instead of on each other.
Anyway, you might want to incorporate a cool down method into this somewhere. Once you've gotten to the point where you're helping them negotiate their sibling interactions, depending on how wound up they are, you might see that they need some space or some time. And so then there's a 3-step system here. Since you can't be kind, please take a break in your room for a few minutes until you calm down enough to be polite. And then if they are still on edge, like exposing us to all of their hormonal rages, I remember asking you to go to your room. And you can hold up your fingers and however you want to hold up your fingers. You don't have to do it like I do. And then the 3rd time, go to your room and use your warning voice that you've established from the beginning, that this is thin ice and you will have a consequence if you don't go to your room right now, kind of thing. First, we went through focus activities so fast, I had to sit down regularly. More often than I made a grocery list, I was making focus activity lists of other little things that my children can do that would help me around the house. Because if I didn't have that list ready to go in the moment, then I would be caught off guard and I wouldn't know what to do in the moment. And that was something that I had to train myself to do as well, to help smooth out those interactions when they're having a moment. I say, okay, here's what you've earned. You've earned this. Now go do that. After 4 to 6 weeks of intense reconstitution time, you'll begin to find you have a new problem. You have a list of focus activities and you have no grounds with which to pass them out. And that is a great thing. You've successfully trained your child. Take them out for some fun.
As a parent, obedient and respectful children are the funnest to go out with and the funnest to reward. Love them enough to train them. I am willing to trade those 4 to 6 weeks of focused effort for the joys of watching a trained child grow into a trained adult. And it makes a lot of sense to me. 4 to 6 weeks for the next 10 years.
And so the next question becomes, how do I teach my children to help out around the house?
Without dishing it out as consequences for undesirable behaviors.